What is up, ladies and gents? It is your friendly neighborhood BJJ podcaster, Rafa Esparza, coming to you with another installment of Running the Gauntlet, a grappling hour spinoff where jiu-jitsu and MMA meet pop culture. So what we do here on this show, we do a little bit of both. Yeah, you get your jiu-jitsu answers. Yeah, you get your pop culture answers. But what happens when you ask them to a prominent jiu-jitsu or MMA star? So we're very happy to have an old friend joining us. But before we get to him, a couple quick reminders. First, check this out. Look, this is a t-shirt. You guys like these? This is the most recent Grappling Hour t-shirt. You guys want to get one of these, and you get one over at rafasparza.com/merch. You can also go over to grapplinghour.com. And if you want to see my interviews that I do with people like Fernando, you can go check it out at patreon.com/grappling hour. For $5 a month, you can see our interviews 30 days before anybody else. We just did a shit ton of new stuff, by the way. So we got new interviews that are going up to everybody who's on those $5 tiers first. Then they go out to everybody else. And the things that we started taping as well, we did some tape studies with some of these fighters, some very exciting fights, including friends of the show, Anthony Orozco, and our good pal, Cody Steele, who just talked us through his most recent KO finish at Fury Grappling, Fury Fighting, which was very dope to see him and watch him do big things. What's up, Laura Senko? So I'm excited about this today. We got a friend of the show. He's coming back. It's been a minute since we've seen him, and every time I see this guy, all smiles on his face. So I'm very happy to bring back a longtime friend of the show, one Fernando Padilla. Fernando, how are you doing, sir?
Hey, hello, brother. Did you just say Laura Senko?
Yeah, Laura was in. I just saw her sign in on the Instagram. She may have peaced out. She might have saw my face. She was probably coming for you. But Laura's at least given us some support way back in the day and is a friend, a long time friend. So super happy
She's
about
dope.
that.
She's so dope.
Let me ask this, though,
Yeah.
dude. We were supposed to do an interview because my buddy here recently had an epic performance in the UFC, and then I see you making the rounds with everybody else. And no, don't flex on that. No. There's no flex yet. I got to yell at you first. I saw you going everywhere else but this show, so I got to ask, what is up, sir? Why? How come you haven't been on this show yet? Where have you been? Because I definitely tried to get you on.
I don't know. The executive producer didn't hit me up or something happened, but
Yeah.
it didn't. I didn't talk to Dick Wolf or something because he didn't. Nobody hit me up. I was waiting for it. I was like, damn. I hope my boy Raph hit me up because he always there when I need it and for good interviews and good talks to him, but never got nothing.
All right. We'll spare you from seeing the chat that could easily be screenshot here. I have to tell you, though, dude, I was super happy for you. Whenever I see you in the cage, $1,000,000. That last performance was great. What did you
Thank you,
enjoy
brother.
about that last performance, sir?
Um, I mean, afterwise, just the whole setup that I had with my family, friends, and just the people around me there was amazing. And also being able to spend time with them, not being hurt. I, I I always had in my head before the fight, like right before I like when I get into the arena or the place we're gonna fight. I always put in my head, go in, go out, go eat, go in, go out, go eat. And when it happens like that, it's the best. It's honestly the best. I think that's an undescribable feeling. Go in, go out, go eat, and then obviously with the win, and a few hours after that, getting the call for bonus. I mean, life changing day. I will never forget that day. To be honest.
You shouldn't, dude. I had a feeling that bonus was coming, but the worst part about the feeling is, we don't have any control. We're just hoping. So we're sitting there being like, I hope he gets it. Like, I don't know if we can text in American Idol, but I'm willing to go ahead and vote on this because you definitely
Yeah.
deserved it. I also want to give you some
Thank you.
credit, dude, because I was just telling you this off air, but you're not just good at fighting yourself. I saw Coach Padilla in the corner over this weekend when I was commentating at Spar Star, and dude, you're a good coach. I could see what you were kind of giving because your guy won and he was incredible, had amazing takedowns. But what was that experience feeling like when you were out by the cage and just having to do the thing where you tell
Uh,
someone what to do and you're not fighting yourself?
yeah, I mean, I've been the past 3 years. It's been a different road for me into coaching.
Mm,
Sorry, but it's been crazy. I feel that I've been the gym, not me, right? But the
right.
gym, Timoyama, has been getting younger guys and hungry guys, and I've been taking time with them. I got a few years ago. Up next, fighting was getting this kid, Emmanuel Garcia. Uh, he was doing good. He was doing really good there, and I was coaching him, and it was a good experience. Just getting into the life of another person that is not me. Like you said, is not me in the cage. It's not gonna be me fighting. So it's a different feeling of having to train them, having to help them with some stuff. I mean, the one that you talking, they fought like this last weekend. I've been helping him with his boxing for over a year already, and it's good to see him using it. I always make sure to tell him is like, at the end of the day, I'm showing you boxing, but remember, this is for you to put it with your MMA because we do an MMA and see the evolution of him on striking and also in MMA is it's huge. And he's a guy who listens, so it's easy to teach him. He wants to be there. He was present in the cage in every single moment, and in the corner, he was listening to me all the time. So he did his job. He did it right.
He really did. And I have to say, it really made me laugh because um, I actually tried to hit you up that day for a specific reason. I was commentating and I had tickets to New Japan out in Ontario. And I was like, hey, bud, I can't take these. I'm happy to pass them your way. And then, I was wondering, I was like, damn, dude, he's not going to get back to me in time. All right. So I was able to sell them off. And then, of course, I see you coaching and I go, okay, he couldn't have gone anyway. So we were good. But I mean, you're one of my guys who I always go like, hey, man, and especially this time out in Ontario where I go, you're closer to this than I am even. But Sparstar was like, hey, man, are you free on May 11th? And I go, yeah, I am.
I feel you. Same thing happened. I wasn't even planning on coaching him. I thought coach was going to be there, and he asked me on Monday, the Monday of the week of the fight. I was like, oh yeah, I mean, I guess I'm going.
you know, stuff happens, dude. And I mean, anybody who's ever dealt or worked with amateurs, sometimes, and then this happens with pros too, but pros have it a little more locked down. Amateurs definitely do that, like, oh, I don't know who I want to coach me. I mean, whoever wants to coach me, that's cool, because they don't want to ruffle any feathers.
Yes,
So there's a little bit of
yes.
that, like, oh, I mean, do you want to coach me? Because if you want to be in my corner, that would be cool for me. And so I'm sure that always happens. But I like when you're like, yeah, I didn't know I was doing it either.
No.
Been there, done that, my friend. There's been a
Right.
couple times where people are like, hey, Raph, are you available? And I'm like, did everybody else decline? Like, no, dude, I'm commentating. I
Yes,
don't know what
like
to tell you, bro.
that's the funny thing because I know I'm not the first guy who they're gonna ask. So I'm like, damn, did everybody else say no? What happened? But no, but I'm happy to. I was happy to be there. Like I said, I've been training him personally for like a year. So um, just being there in the cage. A month ago, actually, like a week after my fight, he just got out of a PKB. So
Mm.
it's impressive, And he did really good in the PKB too. And I mean, like I said, just watching him closely evolving is really good.
Well, I'll say this. He's on my radar. Like, he's on that, like, maybe I do interview. And normally, when I go interview, I try to train if I can. And my first thought was, I was like, I'm not standing up with this dude. Like, this is dumb. I'm
It
immediately just pulling guard with this guy.
is what it is.
Hey, it's all good, man. I just listen. It's not for anything other than mere survival. It's mostly just making sure this old body doesn't die as I'm training. Because the worst thing that will happen is, no matter how bad I get hurt, I have to do the interview afterwards. So it's not like I can go to a hospital. It's gonna be like, hey, man, we got to chat for an hour, and then
No.
yeah, I think this might be broken. We should take me. Yeah, okay. So, in any event, Fernando, I'm happy that you're doing this show because you see these 6 different topics here. Now, you pitched one of them,
Mhm.
but you have no idea what any of these topics are, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So, just so our people at home understand how this game works, you pick one of these topics. We go through all 6, but you pick the order. And what's going to happen is when we go to that topic, it's going to put 60 seconds on the board. I'm going to read you the prompt, which usually has the question in it. You will then
Okay.
have the remaining portion of that 60 seconds to respond. And then I will likely do a take. So this is meant to teach you guys all how to be better on air talent. And I know that you've had spicy takes because you and I have talked off air multiple times. So these aren't meant to trip you up, but they're meant to just say, hey, this might spark some debate. So are you ready to do this,
Okay.
sir?
Okay. Let's go. Let's do it. I'm down. I'm excited. I'm
All right,
excited.
sir.
Let's go.
Which board topic would you like to go to first?
Let's go cheat.
Cheat it is. All right, your prompt for
Relax.
cheat. Imagine you've just waited for a fight and the team is about to go out for dinner. If the food you ate didn't affect your performance the next night for the fight, tell me your ideal cheat meal dinner.
Ooh. Ideal cheat meal before the fight. So I think a good steak, a good like 10 ounce, no, not 10 ounces, like 16 ounce steak, probably a filet mignon. If they have a better quality steak, that will be better. A side of mashed potato with bacon, preferably. If not, just like really buttery, and then mac and cheese. Again, preferably with bacon. If they don't have bacon, just the mac and cheese, really cheesy. But yeah, you split them together. Probably a side of chimichurri on it too. Just for that steak. That would be amazing. I think that would be what I want.
Honestly, that's not a bad series of choices. I like the way you were playing that one, sir, because the way I heard you say that was, all right, steak happens first. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, all
Yeah.
right, a man after my own heart. And by the way, you say the word Spar Star, and they showed up for a few seconds over on our Instagram. So shout out to them. I like the fact
Shout
that
out
I was
Star
like, yo,
Star.
we just talked about you guys. So we're on to something new, but we love you guys.
Yeah.
So you did mention a few things. You also mentioned mashed potatoes and macaroni and cheese. And the thing that I'm starting to think is you better not be lactose because you are putting a high degree of anxiety for anybody who has lactose intolerance here, sir.
I am.
Oh, you are.
Yes. Man, I don't care. That's for weak people. Caring is just for weak people. I go and
So
enjoy my ice cream and then suffer probably at night, but I still enjoy my ice cream.
so similar but different. When I was on the come up when I was a kid and I was growing up, people would ask, they're like, what, you don't want to go get ice cream? I was like, nah, it's a bad choice. And they're like, why? I go, I think I'm lactose. They go, you haven't been tested? I was like, I'm pretty sure I know. I don't know that I need the test. I'm pretty sure that it's what it is. And they're just like, yeah. I go, I don't want the official sadness to ever take me away from, yeah, you really shouldn't have ice cream like this. With a group of friends, maybe
No.
make better choices. So I'm always in anxiety with that sort of stuff. But I like this. So when you do eat the day before, though, does that make any adjustments? Because you can't go crazy for 2 reasons. Sometimes the California Athletic Commission's like, yo, you can only go up 15 pounds, by the way, guy. Like, usually 15% is what you can go up. Now, you're skinny AF, but you're tricky skinny because you're also kind of stacked. But 2,
Hmm.
whatever you put in your body still is going to be in your body pretty much going into that next day when you fight. So you don't pick out, I'm assuming, but it's still pretty controlled night of, right? After you weigh in.
Yeah, I mean, after weigh-ins, it's always like the biggest thing that I learned as I fought and I got more into deep into the professional realm is that you need to measure your how you eat before
Mhm.
sorry, after the weigh-ins and before the fight, because if you just go and fucking destroy a whole entire buffet, you're gonna feel heavy the day of the fight. But one meal or eat whatever you want. Like there's people who actually just want a cheeseburger before after the weigh-in. So like even if it's a cheeseburger, whatever it is, like just keep it uh till you're like uh how do you say comfortably full. Not like, oh
Mhm.
yeah, fuck, I cannot eat no more. Like just comfortably food, like just eat and okay, I know I'm full. That's it. Maybe drink water, and then eat a little bit more. But that for me, that's the most important thing.
It's good to know. And I think you'll understand why mine is going to be slightly more pragmatic before it gets insane, because I did caveat it with if it didn't affect your performance, because I wanted to hear this is not quite your I'm going to die meal. Like some people call that your last
Yeah,
meal.
yeah,
This is more like, hey, man, all things considered. And I'll preface it with exactly why I'm saying what I'm saying, but I'm going to give you my answer right now. All right, here's my answer. I don't know if you guys know this gentleman by the name of his name is Kyle Chambers. And Kyle Chambers, when he goes to compete, he will ingest fried food, 2 sets of tacos, additional stuff. He'll warm up with that and then keep eating. And what he was telling me was, he's like, hey, man, the reason I do that is because I don't tend to eat something in the morning. And I think you're an insane person. Because any of us who have ever competed, especially in jiu-jitsu, you feel like, dude, I don't want to be heavy. How is that all in your body? It doesn't make any sense. So here's my kind of meal. Starting with sushi, because that'll tend to be a little bit light. Then I like the idea of going to a steak, but I want to build to it. So I'm probably going to have like an appetizer of something that's going to get me a little bit filled, but like maybe something cheesy, something kind of like relaxing, work my way up to the steak. Now, he mentioned potatoes. I'm going to go baked potato on this one because it's a special occasion with carrots, asparagus, and then a big dessert. So I'm thinking, all things considered, maybe going with something like a souffle kind of a thing, like almost like a custardy thing. But more than often, it's probably going to be something like that kind of chocolate and ice cream, if we're being honest. So that would be my kind of MO on that. Yeah, okay. Okay. I see what you're doing
so
here.
it sounded okay,
So I'm sorry.
like,
You don't like sushi. You don't like to start with sushi.
I love sushi, but you say sushi, it's like how many sushis you eat? Two
Bro, I
pieces?
go to all you can eat sushi. So like let's be very real. And you know what's very funny? You and I
You got
went to go get Korean barbecue. And I very much upheld my part of the deal there. I was not dragging behind you. I was right there with you. So I don't think this is Raf doesn't know how to eat. I have more of a stomach than you will ever have in your life. So you don't get to tell me what food is supposed to taste like, sir.
come on, bro. I'm from Chihuahua. I'm half cow.
You're
And I have like 7 stomachs.
yeah, no, that's perfectly fine. I'm just telling you that like you've seen it up close. Some guests are like, "Oh, I don't think you can put away stuff." I'm like, "I eat just fine, please." So I just want to remind. Which, by the way, that Korean barbecue spot was actually a lot of fun. That was it. It made me think when we did go there. I was
It's
like, "Damn,
repeated.
dude." I was like kind of craving that recently, so I may have to make an excuse to get some more of my own with the boys out this way. All right, sir, we did one. So you've got 5
Okay.
more to go. Where are we going next, sir?
Wait.
Wait, it is. I'd like for you to tell me, with all the press happening for Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, what is the one fight that you are anticipating in the future right this second, and why?
Right now, like I just the Mike Tyson card, or in every like
Every fight.
in
Like, I'm
every
just
sport.
saying, what is that version of hype for you right now?
Mm. I don't know. I think. Oh well. I know. Yeah, yeah. Dustin Poirier against Islam Makhachev. Why? Just because it's an amazing fight. Just in general, the matchup is perfect. The whole storyline is just crazy for Dustin. It's crazy how destiny works. And just imagine if he goes and submit him with a guillotine. That would be like
Oh, no.
insane. Just that would be just for him to retire. Like that would be like literally scripted. Like he beat McGregor. He beat like I mean he couldn't beat Khabib, but then he beat this guy. I mean,
Okay, I'm with you on that. That's a good one. I was worried if you were going to have a good answer on that. I was more so in the vein of when I saw Dustin got this fight, I was like, I don't know if I like this for him. But I said, if, just like you did, any circumstance, he wins. Walk-off home run. Like, we're done. You retire right then, right there. Because the thing that always
Yeah,
makes me really nervous about him is when he says, oh, man, I hate fighting. I hate this whole thing. I hate being in this spot, all that sort of stuff. Guys don't know what I go through. It really sucks. And I go, yeah, dude, I love watching you fight, but I hate putting you through this shit. Like, as you get older, this shit gets harder, man. So I feel you can step off whenever you need to, bud. But I just know selfishly, I like having him around. He's really fucking good, you know?
yeah, I know. I feel you.
I guess my question is for you. If you were to put odds on it, what are the odds Dustin does win, though?
80.
You think 80% he's going to do it?
Oh, he have breaks on his hands. He have good sprawls now, and he have a guillotine. You know.
Okay. I'm with you. I do like this because you said the guillotine, and I was like, you're the people that's indulging that poor man to just jump for guillotines. And I feel like that's bad news. I feel like that's a bad fighter here, encouraging him. Like, good coach
Hey,
for your
he
guys,
have
bad coach to everybody else.
he have 5 rounds to finish that guillotine, so he can do it. Let's go. He have 5 rounds.
The only thing I'll say is we were producing Subversive that night, and I had it on the background, and the guillotines, because I wasn't full eyes on it, didn't upset me as much. But I just started thinking, a lot of my friends were saying, like, dude, cut with the guillotines, cut them, stop doing that. And I go, let this man live. Let this man do what he wants to do. Like, if that's what he wants to
Bro,
do, let him live.
that fight bring like I think from a long time I don't have that feeling of like a big like a kid being a fan of a
Mm.
sport. And bro, I was watching that fight and I was just like screaming at the TV. I remember when the coach told him, he's like, "Hey, stop jumping for the guillotine," and he's like, "No, I don't want to." Bro, I said, "No, let's go, guillotine, guillotine." No, bro, everyone in the room were like, we were so mad, and then like we started getting so like now I guess do the guillotine, let's go, and then he knocks out Saint Denis, and damn, Dustin is incredible.
It's a good solid fight, sir. So I will give you credit for that one. I didn't plan mine, so I'm going to see where I end up because I have no idea where I'm ending up right now. So here we go.
Be controversial, brother. Just say
Be
the best.
you know what? Okay, if you want me to be controversial, I'll give you the stupidest answer I can possibly think of right now. All right.
I hope is the one that I'm thinking.
So this one was just announced today. And so shout out Leon Edwards
Yes.
for Bilal Muhammad finally getting his title shot. Everybody's been waiting for this one. I mean, Bilal's definitely been waiting for it. I love the fact that there's been talk. Like, I was trying to explain this to my wife where I go, yeah, there's a dude who kind of, I guess on paper, probably deserves it. But everybody just keeps saying, like, nah. Like, and most of us aren't even that upset for him. We just know logically, yeah, he should probably get his title shot, and then you just couldn't justify it. So that was just announced today. I'll give you guys another one. This one's kind of weird. I think this one for sheer stupidity alone, with Sean Strickland and Paulo Costa coming up very soon. It's on that same card with Islam and Dustin, and here's why it's great. Because the absurdity of these two people who barely comprehend the English language coming together, it may make for something entirely epic and entirely stupid. So I'll just say that. And really, I don't know that I'm mad either way how that goes. I just go, yeah, both these guys are weird as fuck. So there it is.
You're an asshole. I
Hey,
like
you
it.
told me to do something controversial, and I gave you two decent controversial takes. Like,
I like it. I like it.
I'm just
I like
saying.
it.
All right, sir, we have 4 more topics. Where are we going next?
Overrated.
Overrated is okay. Now, I'm intrigued on this one, but I'm about to press this, and I eagerly anticipate what you may say. Sir, the prompt is overrated. And it says, as someone who has to pick out walkout songs when they fight, tell me one band that you feel is highly overrated.
Damn. So I'm gonna give you a name. I don't think it's a band, but it's a guy, and I think it's 50 Cent. I think 50
Whoa.
Cent. Many. I think 50 Cent. Many Man has been used so many
I'm
times,
with you
and
on
and
this.
and,
Yes. Talk your
and
shit,
it's and
King.
it's
Do it.
and it's such a great song. Don't get me wrong, but it's been used for like I see it so many times. Amateur shows, pro shows, UFC. Pantoja I guess is right now the one using it, but yeah, I think Many Man by 50 Cent is kind of overrated to have on your on your workouts, but I guess.
I have to tell you, I actually feel the same way. And I'm not gonna call it a bad song, but it doesn't hit for me the way I know it hits for other people. So
I will walk out with it, but I will know that it's overrated already.
I just know that whenever I hear that song, like a lot of guys are like, man, I want to walk out of this. I'm like, dude, I listen to the lyrics and I don't feel very I'm gonna kill you. The instrumental's good. I do like that. But it almost sounds like the nasaliness of it. I just kind of go, yeah, okay, cool. I know it's a thing because of the aesthetic, the lights, the pomp and circumstance, and its history in fights. Um, Back in the day, the song that I really wanted to
Man.
walk out to was honestly "Till I Collapse" by Eminem, and then I saw everybody and their mom use it, and I just saw it go away from me. It was just like, oh no, I don't have it anymore. Like that used to be my song that I wanted to use, and I get it. I get if I was a fighter, I'd probably use it too. I'll tell you somebody who I think is overrated. I may take this two different ways. So I'm gonna pull up this overrated prompt for me, and I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys what it is I think. So our man over here was telling you who he thought was overrated for walkout songs, but I'm gonna start by telling you who I think is overrated as a band. And yes, stay with me here. I think there's a certain band that had such little inherent talent that they had to wear clown makeup to make themselves work. Now, why would I pick this band? Why would anybody just pick on Kiss? Well, a young Fernando Padilla, many years ago, and you'll see it on his Instagram, was once in a Kiss outfit. He was in a Kiss t-shirt. And I just thought, of course, this kid is wearing one of these. Like, look at this guy. This little kid right here is wearing one of the dumbest bands I have ever seen live. Now, if you're talking about who's played it out, many men 100% right with him on that one. But I'm going to tell you this too.
Oh my god.
I'm going to say this, and I think it's super controversial. We're probably about three
Oh
months
my
away from
god.
everybody not being able to walk out to not like us. Like, it's so cool right now. The first people I saw over the weekend did it, and I was like, yo, that's really fucking cool. And I was like, the first people that claim it, they're going to be dope. But I can see
Yeah.
every fighter is going to be like, hey, can I get that Kendrick joint?
Yeah, straight
Yeah.
up, straight up. I feel like that's gonna be like in the next like 2 months, like you say, that's gonna be the song that a lot of people is gonna come out. I never hear no one coming out to Kiss, to be honest with you.
Oh, I just
Never.
wanted to throw that in there. I had the other one in the pipe. I just wanted to let you know because originally you said something that I thought you were spicy in the chat, and I was like, oh, he didn't give me the topic. I'm gonna take it a slightly different way. But I just like the fact that when you did that, I was like, well, when I did my research on you and I have to go back, I was like, what is this fool doing in a Kiss t-shirt? I hope he has no sentimental value to this and that your parents or your friends just bought that for you because I for sure do not enjoy that band. But you
you
said
can
something
clear
that was
you can clearly see it's not even my shirt, bro. I was a little
absolutely,
kid.
I can see it's not your shirt, but you were wearing it and it's on your Instagram. You know what? Some of my favorite bands, they don't end up on my Instagram. But if you put it like that, I was like, well, now it's fair game. So I got to go with that. No. Would you care to repeat and explain if you were being facetious with it? Like giving me an example back. But who did you come after in the chat when we were speaking about an hour ago?
What you mean?
What band did you go after in the chat?
I don't remember.
My man went out and said something about Metallica, and I wasn't sure if you were giving an
Oh
example of a hot
yeah.
topic or if you just don't like them, period. And if so, I need you to stand by what you're supposed to be standing by. So tell me,
Oh, I can't
what did you have
believe
to
it.
say about Metallica, sir?
I say Metallica is repetitive. I don't think they're not. I don't think they're not a great band. I think they're one of the best that ever did it. But I think they're too repetitive. It reminds me a lot to Mana. Like if you know about
Oh, yeah,
Mexican
yeah, yeah, yeah.
songs and you know about Mana, it reminds me a lot to Mana. It's like the first albums were good, and then after the Black Disc, after that, I like it kind of just the same. It's just like the same.
I can't wait for you to become big enough that Metallica sees one of your fights and was like, yo, I liked him better when he first started off. I liked his work when he was an amateur. He sold out. Now he just does easy fights. Like Metallica's like you're 100% going to get Lars right after one of your big
Oh
UFC
no,
fights.
Lars Ulrich, and then the fucking James Hetfield talking shit in the interviews. Yeah, I know that kid Fernando Padilla. Fuck him.
It's just, dude, it made me laugh so hard because when I was like giving you examples and you threw one back at me, I was like, I wasn't expecting that. Like, I can
No,
expect
that's
a
a
lot
hot
of
talk.
things, but you know what? I'm glad you stood by that. So props to you, sir. All right, pick our next topic. Where are we going next?
Uh, I think it's mine, so I'm gonna do goats.
Goats, indeed. All right, this one can get spicy. Okay, I may actually have to do double the time here, but last summer or last year, you attended your very first WrestleMania. I want to know who is your all-time pro wrestling goat and why.
All time pro wrestling goat of all time. It's gonna always gonna be the Undertaker. I just think that everything that he did and he still does for the sport is incredible. Like once you start like really digging into his history, like it gets different. When you realize that he was also like the one who was putting all the effort to keep everyone in the backstage in line, and like I don't know, as a kid you always think that like oh they all have their superheroes and all these things, and then you grow up and then you know that everything is fake, and then you grow up more and then you realize that it's really hard to work with other people and more in such a competitive sport or something like the thing that they do that like you always want to kind of be the best, you know, you never want to be in the like a middle carder or initial carder, so like uh him being the one in the back just like the boss, you know, that everyone talk about how he was that everyone respect the Undertaker. So what he did inside the ring and outside the ring was it's always going to be fucking legendary, you know.
I believe the estate of Eddie Guerrero would like to have a word with you, young man, because how would you bypass Latino Heat, the man you were emulating on the cage, and then you went to The Undertaker instead? My friend, there is an Impala that is sadly bumping up and down with a frowny face with the tire going out, hearing that answer.
Listen, that Impala can keep bumping, but there's one thing that separates Eddie Guerrero from Undertaker, and one still walking when he's dead. So
Wait.
I was gonna say so.
My man, you straight out went with the argument. If he's so great, why isn't he alive? First of all,
Yes, yeah.
wow. Wow. Okay. You know what? The disrespect is so high right now.
Oh my
I just like the
god.
fact that we have you on tape being like, yo, I had to pay tribute to Eddie Guerrero. I was feeling it. And I got that little shimmy in. I didn't see you do no Undertaker tribute when you won. Hmm?
Because AC already walk out with his song.
I think what we got to do now is we got to talk to the UFC. Now that they're playing nice and they're merged with the WWE as a company, I think that we got to start talking to them to be like, yo, can we get some lighting from my boy Fernando? Like he's gonna lift an urn after he beats an opponent, and then I just need cold lighting, but I also need purple on him. So just a hue of purple, lighting like that, let him do it up because they kind of did it for Izzy, so it's not out of the
Yeah,
reality
I
of something
did.
that could happen.
So what if we talk and we kind of like upgrade it a little bit, and we just do the Heartbreak Kid with fucking.
You're gonna zip line in. You're
Yes.
gonna be the first person to zip line in for their fight. You know that could work
You
too.
know I'm cute. You know I'm
Yeah. Okay. You know
sexy.
what? I'm gonna
I've got
stop you
the
here
looks.
because I'm gonna give you my wrestling goat. And I think anybody who knows me knows exactly what's about to happen right now. And I'm gonna tell you this: my man's goat here is good, definitely all timer. However, his goat talks about my goat, the man, Bret the Hitman Hart. Look at this, that up there. You can make either of those guys your goats, but my goat made everybody else's goat pass out.
Brother.
I'm telling you. And think about this. If you look at that painting, why did I get that painting in particular? A few reasons. Number one, Bret passing the torch and doing one of the best double turns of all time. Number two, the fact that Stone Cold ushered in the Attitude Era with this moment. Three, a forgotten part. Do you know who that referee is in that painting?
No.
It is Ken Shamrock, one of the first major integrations in our modern era for pro wrestling and MMA. It set the
MMA.
standard. Thus, my GOAT, still today, number one, Bret the Hitman Hart.
He's just your goat because he was on the same ring with Shamrock.
Get out of here, bro. Here's what you
Come
need to understand.
on.
So listen, Bret the Hitman Hart, everybody who's small now plays like him. Everybody who tells a story usually lifts one or two things. The move list, definitely up there. And I say this as somebody who, when I was watching him as a kid, I was like, okay, let's say he had a match with The Undertaker. You're like, conceivably, how is this dude that's this big having a match with this dude who's regular size? And then you would see it, and Undertaker's like, dude, he carried me through the match. He told me what to do. He was the one kind of like this. I have so much respect for Bret. Like, those two guys have major respect for each other for a reason. And Bret speaks nicely of The Undertaker, saying he moved well, but like, that match was called by Bret. Like, that's how good he is.
Yeah, but the real goat is. We know who the real goat is.
Who?
There's no holding me
Oh,
back.
wow.
I'm not running
You know
back.
what? Here's the nice part is there's a whole generation of kids who may not know who that guy is, but I'll tell you this much. He was a beast in that ring, dude. And that's the hardest part to get over is I'm like, yo, the match that Benoit would have with Angle, like those
One of the
matches,
yes,
so
yes,
good.
exactly. One of the best technicians ever.
Absolutely. Just so everybody knows, I've actually put Fernando in a crippler crossface. So I feel like he's able to make that joke now because it does have shared history here. So my guy doesn't just throw in these jokes. He was like, oh, wait, who's the other goat we're not talking about? And my dude just slips one in. I was like, he's not saying the name. But anybody who knows what that song
Yeah.
is definitely knows. And I will say this. I do love those memes that'll be like, when the kids class pisses you off or like somebody like that, it's like Elmo and they have that song playing in the background. I'm like, yo, these are straight
Those
dark
are the
jokes,
best.
dude. But it's also the one thing I do say is there are some people that I've seen walk out to that, even on the Ami level, that when I'm commentating and I'll be like, this dude walked out to the Chris Benoit theme song. I don't know if they know it is the Chris Benoit theme song, but to me, that's the only
I'm
way
pretty
it can
sure
be
they
known.
know.
So I always laugh and I always think like, this dude might not be okay in the head, or he's telling us some shit is wrong with them. So there is that. But again, I'm not going to tell you Undertaker isn't legendary because you mentioned Wrestler's Court where he would basically preside over and would tell people in the back. They had a lot of degree of respect for him. He had a 30 plus year presence in the WWE, many of those years wrestling and headlining all of those different WrestleManias, and had the streak, which arguably the best streak in all of sports. Like that 21-0 was so money, like
Insane.
so funny, so great. I always was excited to see it. So he definitely
Yep.
helped to make the spectacle that we all know today.
Yeah. Fuck Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, Brock shouldn't have won that one, man. That one sucked. That one
That's
hurt
what
because
it
the
is.
Undertaker also got a concussion on that. And Vince, most people I don't know if they know, he ended up leaving early to go see the Undertaker at the hospital while the event was still going on. So one of the few times that Vince kind of had some emotion about that. So just so people are aware and know what happened there. All right, sir, we got 2 left. So you don't know either of these for sure. Where do you want to go next, sir?
Broke.
Broke it is. You famously have a brand called Broke Boys. What is the
I knew it was gonna be about
brokest?
that.
What's that?
I knew it was gonna be about
Oh, what is the
that.
brokest thing that you have ever done?
The brokest thing that I ever done?
Yeah.
Damn. I don't know. That's a good question, but it's I don't know. Damn. I really don't know. I don't think I've never been like that broke. Thank God to a point that I have to do something that I don't want to do,
But you can
or something
also
that I've.
spin it to something that you felt like you were the brokest at.
Listen, I'm Mexican, so like a lot of the things that I is normal for me is broke for you guys. Like I was normally eating top ramen or just what was conguini. I don't know, like even other stuff that is like for me is really normal, and for other people it's like broke food or something. But I don't know, like that's why I think I don't have that
You know
question.
what? I'm a
Like
see this one. I think I've got something for this. I'll do mine right now. But I do want to
okay,
let you know. I'll go straight into mine, but I want to kind of preface this. My man had a trigger word for me that brought me back, and I think this will kind of explain things. So when you mention that you're Mexican, you're not the only person who has Mexican blood here. Now, as a third generation version of that, though, my man, a little different stories. When I went to college, I will tell you this. My version of being broke was I lived in Illinois and Kentucky for 5 years, and that's where I had to go to school at. It was great. I enjoyed my time there. But one thing that wasn't so great was their food. So I straight up, as a brown person, would bring cans of menudo to actually hold me over. Because I was like, they're like, oh, they have it at the store. And I was like, I don't want that kind. Mm-mm. Nope. They'd be like, well, we've got this Mexican food here. Nope, I brought other stuff here. My mom, one year after we had made tamales, she basically put me with an ice packet that, like, literally like a little chest that I was taking tamales with me from California all the way back to Illinois. And certain friends would be given them if they were in the inner circle, but some people would be like, yo, can I get one of your mom's tamales? And I was like, absolutely not. We are in scarce supply. You have to be in the inner circle to get one of these. So I'm not telling you that that's like the brokest thing that anybody's ever done, but imagine flying somewhere with cans that are basically $1, $2 here, like basically in California, that I'm smuggling back to Illinois and Kentucky. People are like, why couldn't you just go to the store here? And I go, I tell you, it is not the same. So there's a lot of dumb shit like that I did back in college, where even my mom, I remember her doing this when she goes, "Oh, mijo, I put some paper towels in your luggage," and I was like, "Why? I could get paper towels elsewhere." But she was just like, "No, they're not good." And I go, "Bob, it's just wasting space. I'm not taking paper towels." So like, even my family was like pitching in, like, "No, no, we're not poor. You're poor. Like, we're just trying to help you out because you're in college now." And I go, "Oh, thank you very much for that,
Muchas gracias.
family."
Oh my God. Okay, okay. That was a good one. That was a good one.
It's not bad. It's not bad. All right, sir. We got one here, and it is nickname. Are you ready for this one now?
Yes, sir.
All right. Here we go. Your nickname is pretty dope. El Valiente. Tell me the worst nickname that you've heard for a fighter and why you think it is one of the worst that you have ever heard.
Oh my God. There's a bunch. Amin have a pretty funny one, like because he's Amin. His name is Amin. So his nickname is motherfucker. So he's a mean motherfucker. you know? Amin have that one. Yeah, who else have Coach, Coach, this is a pretty funny story about Timo Yama. Uh, I love Coach, and Coach can say whatever he fucking wants, right?
Mm.
So, in one fight, I wasn't there, but this is a funny story. In one kickboxing fight, we have this guy named Artavan, who he fights for Team Oyama, and Artavan is he's from Iran. So when they ask him about the nicknames, the coach and Romy kinda got the guy on the side and tell him the nickname of Artavan is the suspect. So like Artavan didn't knew that he was gonna walk to that name, and they present him right, and they're like, Artavan, the suspect, winning. And I think that was fucking hilarious, man. Coach and Romy really landed over there.
That that is amazing. That because my thing is we all have different people that we interact with, and I do find that sometimes you see people where you go, "Oh, is that what you're going with?" Or
Yeah,
you're supposed to be given, like gifted your nickname most of the times. So like the one I'm going to go with is one that I think may have gotten lost over the years, but I do want you guys to understand where I'm coming from on this. But it's gonna take me a second here. Okay. I think I'm ready to go. It's just I'm trying to get the laughing out of my brain before I go into it, but okay. Going in 3, 2, let's take you off that screen. And okay, guys, let me preface this by saying I don't think this person's a bad person at all. In fact, I thought they were pretty accomplished in MMA, but also in jiu-jitsu. They were pretty good at it to the point where they ended up catching somebody when they were really red hot in their career. And it was one of the first times we saw Gary Tonin get caught. Now, the question is, how many people have caught Gary Tonin? So you start racking your brain. You're like, well, was it this person? Is Gordon? I mean, Gordon the King is actually a pretty dumb nickname. Okay. Not really inspired, but okay. What else is there? Who else caught him? Oh, wait a minute. A gentleman by the name of Antonio. Shoeface. How do you get the nickname Shoeface? And how do you stick with that? And more importantly, if you're the guy, you're like, wait, you think this looks like a shoe face? That's the best thing you got? And I know that in Brazilian culture, it's supposed to be a little bit more like, oh, we're joking with you. But like, them some roast. Imagine getting roasted the worst way. And then somebody being like, nope, that's the nickname. You're going with that one. So to Shoeface, I'm sorry you had to endure that. Just really not one of the best ones of all time. So there is that.
Cara de zapatos, sí, cierto. But it is a weird nickname to have, though. It is, but it's pretty unique. You never hear that.
Sure, but it's just, could you
Is
imagine?
that the same? Is that the same guy who used to fight in the UFC?
Yeah, if memory serves me right, he had a stint. Now, here's the weird part, and I can't ever keep up with things, so somebody's going to have to tell me in the future or on the comment section in the future, but I think he got on a version of Big Brother in Brazil. And I don't know what happened. Yeah, Antonio Carlos Jr. One thing that I found, though, when he was on there, people kept saying he was controversial on there. And because I don't really read Portuguese on a regular basis, I didn't know what he was controversial. I don't know if he's controversial in the way some of our MMA guys say dumb things for clout or to make headlines so that people are interested in their fights. I don't know what he was doing on TV, and I didn't know the extent to how serious it was. So I don't want to make light of anything. But yes, it was very weird to sit up there and be like, he's very controversial. And I was like, Shoeface? What do you do? And also, he's still going by Shoeface? I guess that's the branding. Okay. Imagine being on a reality show and they're like, well, we've got the lovely Angelica, the very sexy Selena. Oh, and Shoeface. Yeah, this little jamoke over here. Screw this guy. So, yeah, he fought in the UFC dating all the way back to, I see, May 2014.
You know, there's actually another name now that I'm thinking about it. That like because you're right. You're right. Like cara de zapato is a little bit like shoe face, a little bit stupid. Uh, two right. One personal one and one that is like obviously famous. That Assassin Baby, Brandon
Oh,
Moreno.
yeah, yeah.
I feel that I even talked to him about it, and he said that it was just. I mean, it happened how a nickname happened. It just like they give it to him, so he just stick with it. But it is a crazy nickname to have, like the assassin baby. You're like, damn. And then in the gym in Timoyama, we used to have this guy. His nickname was Lemon Killer. It was
That's
like Lemon Killer, or why, and he got a tattoo on his chest and everything, literally Lemon Killer, and it's like, I mean, I guess, that's crazy.
I mean, who am I to tell anybody what a nickname is or isn't, except for the ability to do it on my show? But I don't know that. Well, you know what? I'm not getting tattoos. I have no tattoos, so I'm out of this dance. I'm just saying that's definitely a tattoo I'm not getting. So can't really fight that one. But did he change the nickname?
No, he's still the Lemon Killer.
Man,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah. I mean, respect to him, like, well, props. I don't know
sure.
about respect, but props,
But
props to him for doing that. But yeah, I mean,
I mean, it shows that they can basically take it for a long period of time. So the only thing that happens for me is the baby-faced assassin as a nickname, I think, has just become way less of a problem because we all like him. So when that happens,
hmm
it supersedes being like, oh, don't think about the nickname. Because if you start doing that with kind of beloved fighters, you start really looking at things like the Texecutioner and you go, I'd prefer
the
no.
execution,
Or the hybrid with Shab.
the black
Okay.
beast,
Darth Bader.
Darth Vader.
And then what is it? The ginger with the intent to injure Pfeiffer? That's still so weird. Dan Hendo
The
Henderson, that's a
Alpha,
bad nickname, but it does fit him just because it's Hendo. It feels like it's slightly
yeah,
redundant.
the
But
Alpha
Cody
Ginger,
No Love Garbrandt also was put on a list that I saw where I go,
Cody Nolo.
I don't know what to do with that. But we accept it as fact because he's become part of the culture.
I guess, yeah.
Yes, there's a few of these that now I'm going down memory lane. But I
You know
have to
what?
say,
You
what's
know
up?
what? Yeah, I'm going down memory lane. Hey, what was it? What was I mean, girls are different because
Sure.
I train with Carla, but I will never understand why Carla Esparza is a Cookie Monster. It's good, it's a good nickname. That's cool. But damn, and then that's not even the worst. You have what's the name of this girl? Cupcake.
Misha Cupcake
Why is
Tate.
it Mitcha Tate? Mitcha Tate nickname is Cupcake. They're like, yeah, I mean, she's a cupcake. You're like, I get it, she pretty and everything, but
I will say this though, it definitely that was the era of the Ultimate Fighter. I definitely remember watching her, and people were like, "Cupcake," and it's like, "Oh, I make cupcakes," and I go, "Oh, there's some branding here." Okay, so it kind of goes with her and her whole thing.
okay,
Tapology
okay.
actually has a page where they have ranked, and we didn't even get close to one of the worst. One of the top ranked bad nickname on Tapology.
Topology have that?
They do.
No.
And it is Frank Twinkle Toes Trigg coming in at number 1. Coming in at number 2, Nick the Promise Ring.
The promise.
I'm going to give you a couple of these. Logan the Pink Pounder Clark, which, by the way, I think that should be a little bit higher.
The Pink Pounder.
Let me see. The Upgrade Dan Luzon, which, sure. Dom, I hate
No.
you so much, Grady.
What?
Yeah, Ken Flo, I can
What?
kind of see.
I thought you were talking about that guy, and I just realized that was the nickname. I hate you so much.
It's just no, that's the name. That's not me.
No, bro, you cannot have that nigga. I hate you so much.
Yeah, I'm seeing like even putting Sugar Rashad Evans. I get it. I can't put that super badly down. I feel like we're just getting into it.
Yeah.
People didn't like them, but yeah, that's where we're at. So I have to say, of those, the Pink Pounder at number 6 is It's
That's
probably
pretty solid.
one of the worst, but Frank being at the number one spot, that just goes to show you. So I'm glad we were able to do this. All right, so here's what we're gonna do right now. So, Fernando, we've made it through the entire board, but I always like to give the guest an opportunity to ask me something that they think might trip
Hmm.
me up. So you can ask it about pop culture, MMA, or jiu-jitsu, whatever comes out of the top of your brain. So I want to give you the opportunity to ask me a question similar to the way that I asked you these.
Okay. So, how do you feel about the fight of Shawn Michaels against Bret Hart, and how do you feel about the reality being Shawn Michaels won? So your GOAT ain't that good.
I think I need you to define your very biased question a little bit better.
My question, I'm just telling you, your GOAT ain't that good. That
Okay,
was a
let me
different thing.
address your
But
question. First of all,
how
there
does
was
it
no.
feel
Hold on,
knowing?
hold on, hold on. Your goat that you're speaking of right now, that you didn't even pick as your goat, so you don't even get to claim him now. You don't get to retroactively be like, well, by the way, my other goat, I've got 5 different goats. Like, what are you,
No,
some
no,
kind
I
of
didn't say
hoe
it was
hoeing
my
yourself
GOAT.
out to
I
five
just
different
say
people
that
at
make
once?
Shawn Michaels winning make your GOAT not that big of a GOAT.
No, Shawn Michaels winning in kayfabe because he needed Vince McMahon to go step out there and help him. Ooh, and that's a good person you want to help you with all the allegations that Vince has had. Yeah, you really want that guy being on your side. Good to do that. And in fact, my goat was the only person who came out and said, yo, Vince doing that, that makes him a pile of trash. That shit's dumb. He shouldn't have done any of that shit. Shawn Michaels, I mean, some bad stuff. It's tough to do. God, I'd hate to see him do anything. Thanks, Sean. Really very clear about that. Here's what I want to tell you. When you're a kid, you definitely go down the are you a Sean fan? Are you a Brett fan? As you get older, you definitely say they're both goats at what they did. Like Sean was always really antagonizing me. And I'm like, dude, I always like going for the America guy. How was it that the dude from Canada became my guy? And it was because he was, in my opinion, a better storyteller. Having said that, Sean put on some of the best athletic performances. He got better on the mic as he went on, and he became a legend for having some of the best all-time matches. Having said that,
Yeah, he did. He did. He did.
Sean,
I can have to take that.
also, the rift that he had with Brett was based off of professionalism. Now, Brett's very much into himself, and you can always take things one of two ways. But Shawn Michaels had to go find God a little bit later. And Shawn Michaels is the first to say, hey, that dude you met back then, he sucked. So I'll tell you, for consistency, for the ability to give you the best matches of all time and still be this influential all these years later, Shawn Michaels is up there. Brett, still the GOAT. Is that your answer you were looking for,
Okay.
sir?
Okay, yeah, he does. He does. He does. Thank you.
I just, I always want to make it clear to people where I'm like, it'll be very difficult to trip me up, especially if you're going to throw pro wrestling at me. And I'm like, oh, no, 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 no. My child, I have thought long and hard about these answers. It'll be very rare. But I do want to say, as a kid, it was definitely a, are you a Shawn Michaels fan? We can't be friends.
Yeah, I am. I
No,
am.
no, no. I'm saying like on the
That
playground when you were a kid, it was like, you a Shawn Michaels person? Mm, he's okay. Brett's better. And like, you would totally like get to know a person like that. But you know, I mean, now we're older and
I'm
we just
glad.
appreciate everything.
I'm glad we never talked when we were kids. I would just straight up
You would have
switching music
tried.
you.
You would have tried because you would have been way more gangly and you wouldn't have been the technical prowess that you are now. One thing that you do know about me, and that has not changed since I was a kid, is that I'm just incredibly durable. And I think that's part of the reason why, whenever you're talking shit about me, you're like, this dude should be, he should die now. He should have been dead already. Nah, dude. That's my
Mm.
superpower. I just absorb everything and go, all right, this sucks, but so no big deal. Fernando tried to kill me, and it only momentarily
Shut
sucked, but we're
up.
good. So, Fernando, what happens next, man? What do you have coming up in the near future? You know, I mean, everybody always likes to ask when your next fight is, but I know you'd be ready to do it at the drop of a dime if they asked. It's just a matter of where and when. So, what's coming up in the near future for you, sir?
Hopefully the Sphere, being the biggest card this year. I think, well, after 300, 300 was pretty big. But I think the big next card is gonna be the Sphere. So like, I really would like to be there. Also, being the Independence Mexican Day again. So more of like of a redemption arc for me. I lost last year, so I want to go and win this time. And I'm pretty sure that's what's next for me. Other than that, I'm like you say, I'm not tripping. I will fight whenever they tell me to fight. But yeah, like I'm having hopes of fighting there. I think it's gonna be like an impressive event, and we never know if it's gonna happen again. Dana, you said that it's gonna be a one in a lifetime thing. I don't think it's gonna be, but let's see.
Yeah, you read exactly what I was going to bring up right now, which is I saw that quote from Dana when he said, we're never doing that again. Like, it's a one and done. Get in, get out, show everybody how it's done. So when I started realizing it was Mexican Independence Day and all that sort of stuff, and they kept saying they really want to get the Sphere, you immediately shot top of mind. I was like, yeah, he should be up in consideration. Like, that's got to be the dream. And you're right, dude. I feel it's got to be so trippy to fight in that thing. Like, looking at what they've utilized it for already, I think the thing I appreciate about it as a production guy is I don't know what to expect there because they have so much capability. And really, at our
hmm
core for fights, we don't need a lot. You need a ring or a cage, good lights, crane shot, audience ability to see it, and maybe some giant
That's
screens
exactly.
where people can see it. This one is like, oh, the whole thing is a screen, and I think, what would I do
Yes,
with
yeah.
that
That's
visual
that.
simulation?
Man, I was just looking at that. I'm like, oh my god. Hopefully, it doesn't trip out like the fighting part of it, you know. But yeah, it looks crazy.
You look all the way up like in the cage, and all of a sudden you get like vertigo, and you're just like, wait, what am I doing here? This is weird AF. Having said that, though, there is a benefit to being one of the first people to have a major MMA fight in there. So I say pursue that for everything it's worth. And I'm definitely rooting for you to be back there. But dude, I'm so happy we were able to spend this time going through these topics. You did a good job,
Thank you,
sir.
brother.
And you know what? I
Thank
feel
you, man.
like you did handle these questions. And one of the things that we say on this is maybe I start belting some of the people who come on as guests. So we're not quite blue belt. We're gonna work our way to blue belt, but you did get a stripe here today. So we're slowly incrementing our way up, sir. But do you have anybody else or anything that you'd like to plug, sir, before we transition on out of this?
Just like always, my team, Team Oyama, obviously Raw Talent Boxing, Temple Jiu Jitsu. Um, just stay tuned for more Fernando Padilla because there's going to be a lot more in the future. And obviously, thank you, Ralph, for always put me there and have me here and like thinking about me, even if it's like right now they was so improvised. I love it, bro. I love to help to be talking. These talks with you are always great. Are always great to have, and I appreciate it a lot, man.
Likewise, brother. I mean, you're part of the inner circle here, so if you had been at my dorm or around where the places where I was living in Illinois and Kentucky when I brought home those tamales, you would have been in that inner circle that would have gotten one of the tamales. You wouldn't have been one of the bums
Thank
on
you,
the
brother.
outside being like, "Hey, we're poor too," and I was like, "I'm kind of fake poor. Like, this is college poor. It's very different." Real poor is very, very different. College poor is more like we're put upon, but like you're fine. So anyway, uh, Fernando, I'm going to say bye to you off air. I'm just going to close this up, but my thanks and appreciation to you. Congratulations on your last performance. Congratulations on your
Thank you,
coaching
brother.
performance. And I want to say
I appreciate
congratulations in
it.
advance because I feel like you'll be on that card. So I'm putting it out there, putting the good energy out for you to get on there because I know you would blow that away. And for selfish
Yes,
reasons,
sir.
I want to see what it's going to look like if they plaster your giant grinning face on like that giant screen having it. Like, I don't know what to think of it. So I'm super stoked. I'll talk to you in a second off air, sir.
Okay.
You see that's exactly the face I'm thinking would be on the camera. All right, you guys, that'll pretty much do it for us here at Running the Gauntlet. A couple quick reminders. You can get this shirt or other ones, this or a hoodie that's on rafasparza.com/merch. Shirts 25, hoodies 45, a combo of the two at $60. Other information to know: like, comment, and subscribe. If you don't know what you want to comment on right now, why don't you tell me who your wrestling goat is? And I will still shit on it in the comments. I mean, I will accept it in the comments without making fun of you, I think. We'll see. Depends on my mood and if I'm drunk. 3, if you guys like the interviews that I do, you can go on over to patreon.com/grappling hour. Find yourself as one of our members. For $5 a month, you see our interviews 30 days before anybody else. And you get to see tape studies, fight breakdowns, people roasting my competition footage, extra bonus content that's not available anywhere else, and much, much more. For our premium members, we're about to upload a new segment called Road to ADCC, where we look at how certain competitors made their way to the big dance that is happening this August. So do that. Join our Discord at Grappling Hour, and you can also join us at Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. Like, subscribe, rate, and review. All of that stuff. All right, guys, that's going to do it for us here at Running the Gauntlet. It's been a great day for grappling.